Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Talkin' Habs, Saturday Hockey Talk Live, where we talk about anything and everything Habs, hockey, and life, with your host, Rick Selly. Go Habs, go, and let's talk hockey. The road to the 25th Cup is under construction. Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talkin' Habs, where you get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. Would be good if this one wasn't there. Hey everybody, so we got Saturday Hockey Talk, and not much happening again. It's the time of year where there's not much, but we'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, and hopefully Matt will be joining us soon, I hope, and if not, well, we'll still have fun and we can talk about anything. So let's see who's here so far. Daryl Adams says, Rick, keep up the great work. Thank you. You think Price be back this year, and you think Habs will sign Dak to contract, and how much you think he should get? I don't know. On Price, it's hard to say. I think probably at some point. I just don't think he'll start the season. On Dak, yes, they will sign Dak, and somewhere around $2 million. I'm going to say 2 to 2.5 for Dak, probably short term, 2 years, and yeah, a little British deal. Hey, Guru, how you doing, man? Larry, the cable guy. How's things with you? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Hope you are as well. I wish some of the rumors about guys like Dak would end. I know we need to move some salary, but I get tired of them. Yeah, I mean, I think Dak's got an agreement in principle, and they just have it waiting to sign on the dotted line. But I don't think there's any problem there with Dak. Larry also says, I'm sure Gordon and Hughes will sort all of this out. They're looking at how the Canadians will move into the future. I'm not worried. First of all, there's a lot of time till the season starts still, and I'm not worried about it. Chicago Steve, how's it going? Hey, BL. Tony Marinaro is reporting that Vegas is looking at Allen. Well, how could they not be, right? Robin Lehner is out for the year after I don't know if he's had the hip surgery yet, but he's having hip surgery, and he'll be out for the year. So the rumors about Allen being moved and all that have resurfaced because of that. Hey, Stan the Man, how you doing? NHL Hockey News, how you doing, buddy? Ronald, hey Ronald. Sylph, I'm doing good. Hopefully you are as well. Do I think this is from NHL Hockey News? Do I think 35 to 40 points with Dak will satisfy Habs fans? It's a good question. Yeah, I kind of figure Dak's probably going to come in somewhere around there. I kind of figure he'll start on third line is what I figure. So his opportunities will be a little less. And do I know what'll satisfy Habs fans for sure? I mean, I don't know. I would hope that it does in the first year. I'm not expecting Dak to go out there and blow everyone away in his first year here. He may do that, but I'm not expecting him to do that. BL, yeah, I saw Canada was up. I actually saw them on Twitter. I saw the replay of the McTavish goal. If Vegas wants Jake Allen, include Armia or someone else to reduce salary cap. They might be able to do that, but not really with Vegas. I don't think Vegas's cap situation is very good either. So I don't know if they'd be able to do that, but yeah, maybe they will be able to work out something like that. Ronald, do I watch NHL football or no? No, not really. Maybe the odd game here and there. That's it. No, so no. I used to be involved in some pools and stuff, and I was into the NFL for I say about 5 years, maybe 6, and then I kind of, yeah. I don't mind watching NFL if I'm watching it, especially with a group of people, but I don't go out of my way to. But every now and then, I catch a game, and for no particular reason, then I decide to. BL personally thinks Dak better put up at least 50 to help take the sting out of losing Romanov. Yeah, I don't know. Depending on how they play him and all that. So I'm not going to hold him to that. Second year maybe. First year, I don't know how well he's recovered from his wrist problems. Should be okay. And yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of writing him in for about 40, 45. That's in my mind. That's what I think I'm going to see. Is that far from 50? No. So he could hit 50. Steve says he's watched NFL for 59 years now, but watch way more hockey now. Yeah, I mean, I never been a big football fan, so. Habination says yes, 40 to 45. Yeah, I think that's fair to figure around that, especially if he plays all or most of the season in the third C position. Then, I mean, how much more are you gonna get from your third line center? You're watching tons of. How are you watching Laval? You must be paying for that, no? I don't know where to watch Laval games. I haven't seen a Laval game. Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a Laval game. I've seen highlights, but I haven't seen the game. So, what news do we have? We don't have much news. I mean, there's really nothing. We're all waiting for the ball to drop on a trade or news of them signing Dak. They got to sign Primo as well, but that's not a problem against the cap this year. He's more than likely not playing here this year. Steve says, buy the app, watch the kids. Yeah, I don't know if I have time for that anyway. It's enough covering the big club. BL says Eichel is pissed. I bet looks good on him too. What looks good on him too? I think Eichel's screwed out of another year of miss. He's going to miss the playoffs again, more than likely. It all depends on who Dak's line mates are. Well, that's that's another thing. I think we've got pretty good wingers here. I think he'll play with some good people, and I think he'll do fine that way. So, a second or third line, he's going to have good wingers, I think. Bing carries AHL games. Yeah, I don't use Bing. Stand a man to get 40 to 50 points. Somewhere in there, right? I mean, we'll see. Larry, if they were to trade Allen, which would be a mistake, I would insist that Vegas give us a defensive starter. If they have to do this even up, it would make a lot of sense to me. You see, first of all, if you're trading Allen, I think you have to have some sense of that you have a line on another goalie, or that Carey Price is going to be ready to start the season. I unless Vegas knocks their socks off with an offer, I don't know. But I think it's a mistake too, unless Price, goalies aren't at premium now. Like if Price is not ready, they trade Allen. They got to come up with another goalie that can play. So I don't know where that's going to come from. Now, does it really matter if you're saying, well, we're not going to win anyway? We know that, and hey, maybe we get another great draft pick out of it. Yeah, that works. I'm trying to see where I was. Oh yeah, okay, there. Damn, Anaheim has a dandy in this Mason McTavish kid. Yeah, he looks pretty good. Where did he come from? They got him last season, right? I can't remember. Was it Calgary or something like that had McTavish, or Vancouver? Vancouver, I think. Probably gave up a pretty good kid there. Watch tons of Hamilton with Arbor. I think he's a long shot, but fun kid to watch. You don't want to push his buttons. He's NHL fist fight ready. Yeah, I think he's a long shot this year, but I think past this year, Arbor's probably more talented than people think. I think he's got a shot to be a 6th or 7th defenseman. Third line guy, third pairing guy. And you know what? You have him in the lineup. There's players that are going to think twice about going after one of your small guys, Why put pressure on Doc? Just let him be himself. Doing that, he may surprise a lot of us. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be pressure anyway, but I mean, I'm not going to add any pressure to him. I think this first year, let him get acclimated back to the NHL. I say back. I mean, he played last year, didn't he? So just let him get acclimated here, get his footing here, and let him get comfortable here. It'll all work out. I think the guy's talented. I think he's going to do a good job here. Yeah, I'm not putting pressure on him, but there's pressure just playing in Montreal. It's not going to be pretty for our Habs this season. I don't expect milestone seasons for many players. Well, yeah, it's not going to be pretty as far as wins, I think. Yeah, it doesn't mean that the offense can't be producing. Look, it's not a great defense. Yeah, it's not a great defense. That's might not be a great goalie tandem, but it doesn't mean that the offense can't produce.
Yeah, I mean, I think as of right now, I think the offense is probably the only strength we have. I mean, especially in the top 6. I mean,
yeah, I think you're right.
But
it's our strength.
And it's not a. I mean, for being real, obviously, it's still not a good enough top 6 to compete. But
not yet.
I mean, it should produce. I mean, that top line should produce no matter what. Second line should produce.
I think listen, there's been some bad teams that had some really good players producing numbers on theirs on those teams. So I think the potential's there. I mean, look at Edmonton back in the day when they weren't the top team. They were putting up numbers and not winning because they couldn't play defense. So it's kind of, I see it like that. So the potential's there. It doesn't mean they will put up numbers here this year, but I mean, I don't think them being kind of a shitty team says that they won't put up numbers.
I mean, look at the Maple Leafs. I mean, they put up tons of numbers offensively, but they can't win shit because they don't play defense.
Yeah, and even over, there were a lot of seasons when the Leafs were shitty, but they had some really big scoring players. It didn't stop the players from putting up offense. I think the offense here, I hope it is good enough that Nick Suzuki can produce a point a game. Cole Caulfield can get up to that kind of level. I don't see why not. Where were we? Everyone's saying hi to Matt, and then we got NHL Central Scouting is saying that the 23 NHL draft might just be the best one since 2003 draft. It could be. There's going to be some really good players there. Jeremy, that's too much information. Steven, should be better. D will need to grow. D's got to grow. Goalies will be exhausted. Yeah, I think that D is going to be not expecting a lot. They're going to get experience and learn and make mistakes and learn from it. And we're going to get what we're going to get. The goaltending, it's kind of unknown right now, considering they might now be trading Allen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't really read into the rumors, but I know there's rumors starting to pick up.
Apparently, there's a legitimate one now with Vegas. Vegas is interested, which Montreal's apparently talking with Vegas now. Which, of course, I mean, what are they going to do with Laner out? They got to get something in there.
But I mean, who would we be taking on? Because they got to move money our way.
Well, this is the point I was making, right? You're doing it to make room But if you're taking on more cap, I don't see why it makes any sense for Montreal to do that.
I mean, it's gonna, as of right now, I think with the way the cap situation is, it's gonna be a one for one, like
Well, then they're going
someone
to
in
have to
that area
throw.
contract. We'd be taking on the same amount of money because I don't
They're
think
going
they
to
can
have to
afford anything else.
throw in a top prospect like we got Nick Suzuki or their best draft pick. I mean, they're going to have to throw something in there then. Right?
Yeah, I mean, because like we've said, Kent Hughes is a smart man. He's not gonna make a trade that wouldn't be in the best interest of the Canadiens.
I'm going to say it this way. Kent Hughes is not going to trade Allen to Vegas because he feels sorry for Vegas.
Right.
That ain't happening. He's only doing that if he can take advantage of the situation and max out any deal for Allen. If he can take advantage of them, he'll do it. I don't think why do it otherwise, right? So he's not going to help them out. There's no reason to. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's see. It's 5-1 Canada now. Excuse me.
Yep. The U.S. won 7-0.
7-0. I saw Cooley almost got a Michigan.
Someone on Team Canada did it. Ken Johnson, I think is the kid's name.
Yeah, Ken Johnson. I read that too. Did it. Larry says, I remember seeing Edmonton so all out offensively, and the other team would spring a player loose, and Fuhrer would have to bail them out. Fuhrer is solely underrated by me. Tremendous athlete. Grant Fuhrer is a very underrated goalie. Edmonton, did they know what defense was? I don't know. Their idea of defense was scoring more than the other team, which they did often. True, but so yeah, you can have a shitty defensive team, kind of like we have right now, and still put up good numbers. Yeah, BL, I'm ignoring Jeremy right now. If Price doesn't play, they tank. Big deal. Allen won't help unless the Habs win. Quite true. The problem is you got to have a goalie. If Price is out, you got to have a goalie. It's not like who you going to put in there. They don't have anybody, so that's the problem.
I'm looking at Vegas as cap friendly right now. They don't have a goalie under contract on the roster right now.
It's crazy. So
I think Ken Hughes might be able to get a pretty good return here. Because Vegas is also $5 million over the cap, so they're going to need to move money. B, they need a goaltender. I think he might be able to get a decent haul here. But
take William Karlsson back for.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, he's one player that I'm looking at that I honestly, at his cap hit though, for what he does. I mean, I'd take William Karlsson for Dvorak.
And no, not for Dvorak. No, let trade Dvorak elsewhere. William, you that desperate? William Karlsson for Jake Allen.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, though,
Listen,
but then we'd be
you
over
try.
the cap. We'd be over the cap.
No, I know, I get it. I'm just,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm looking at the team. I mean, I would do. I mean, I love William Karlsson. I think he's a great player, and he's got 5 years left. And with the production that he does,
but it's
I don't think 5.9 is necessarily a bad hit.
Oh,
and he's a center. So
that's not bad. 5.9, and you can move Dvorak to make a lot of that up.
Yeah,
and then if you can get them to take Allen and Hoffman,
you're like. For William Karlsson, maybe.
But they can't see. That's the thing. They can't handle it. They can't handle the contract. That's the problem. So, yeah. But if he can move them elsewhere, I wouldn't mind having William Karlsson.
I'd take William Karlsson
as the second line center.
I would. I love William Karlsson. William Karlsson's one of my favorite players in the league. He's awesome.
Yeah, and then we can put out.
Awesome.
We can stop all the talk about Dubois or this one or that one if you do that. You know what I mean? So you never know. You never know how it works out. But thing is, we're going to be a goalie short too. So,
right. I mean, that definitely. I mean, honestly, this could also be a situation where you get a third team involved and you got moving parts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're probably right there.
Because, like I said, Vegas is they're gonna have to shed more than William Karlsson to make any type of trade work.
Yeah, they got to move. They got to move money out.
And we're not taking on more than like one contract like that. Like Ken
No.
Hughes isn't going to take on more than one contract like that. Yeah,
No.
William Karlsson's contract though, I don't think it's bad. He's 29, 5 years, 5.9 per.
No, that could be worked. You could work with that, and the guy's got talent, and he'll produce.
Exactly.
I wouldn't mind that, but I don't see that happening. But hey, you never know. Something's going to happen because they got. I mean, Vegas has to do something. They can't go into the season with no goalie. So.
And I'm trying to think of who else they could move. Looking at this cat, I mean, they'd have to send out another big piece because no one else really makes the type of money they need to move.
Yeah, their problem. Vegas is they're mismanaged for the 5 years, and now they're paying the price. Hey, Lucas, how you doing? Renegade Man says Vegas needs to hope that Thompson will be the answer. I don't. Just the name Thompson doesn't do it for me. Do you know who that is?
Logan Thompson looks like
Logan Thompson
that they signed.
Oh, yeah. I think I heard something about this kid. That's okay. I think I heard something about it.
So right now, Vegas's goalie tandem, in theory, with who they have, and this is the minors, Michael Hutchinson and Logan Thompson. There are other two guys are prospects in the system.
Yikes!
Yeah.
Wow. Larry says, before long, we need to see what Caden Primo can do next year. If we trade Allen, it might not be such a bad idea to see what we have in Primo. We saw what we have in Primo at this stage right now. I don't think it's a good idea to do anything but leave him in the AHL for a year. From what I understand, their plan for Primo was 200 AHL games. Then he should be ready. He hasn't hit 100 yet. So he needs more time down there, and I don't think I don't think I want to do that to him again this year. Allen will not get you much at this point because he is not a number one goalie. Best Habs can get for Allen is a number 2 pick. Hughes should package an Armia or Hoffman with Allen to get a higher pick and shed salary. Entertrap, I'm not totally disagreeing with you. This is a bit of a special situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Vegas is absolutely freaking desperate. That puts them in a bad place where, you want this guy, you need this guy. No, we want that.
I mean, Ken Hughes, let's be real here. Ken Hughes has all the leverage here.
All the leverage.
100%.
Because there's not a lot of guys to choose from out there right now. This is what I'm understanding. The goalie pool isn't great. So,
take a look at that.
And also, Allen makes under $3 million, which is an attractive contract. He's only got 1 year left on it, so they're not committed after. So, but I don't think they're going to want to give up William Karlsson. But they may have no choice.
Yeah, it may end up being like kind of like that Max Pacioretty deal because they have to move out. They're gonna have to move out a salary of at least $5 million to get to the cap floor, or to get to where they need to get. Right?
Makes you wonder about
to get where they need to get.
I wonder about with speaking of Pacioretty and his injury. Do you think they knew about the injury because that would have helped them for at least a short period of time, like half the season?
There's no way they could. I don't even think the trade would have went through if he had an injury like that. I don't think Carolina's medical staff wouldn't have cleared him.
But I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, did Vegas know? Because if Vegas held on to him, put him on the LTIR, that's $7 million in cap relief.
Yeah, but don't they have to be like and
they don't lose him? They could do it the day it starts. Put him on.
Yeah, but but there's still $5 million over the cap. They still have to move guys out.
They still do. I get it. I'm saying they didn't have to trade Pacioretty and get nothing for him. They could have had him out on LTIR.
Well, they got Weber on LTIR right now from us.
Yeah, but you could have more than that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just wondering why. I'm wondering why they didn't do that.
Like I said, my guess has to be he got the injury in practice or something because I just can't see.
Must have been,
I can't see that trade going through because I highly doubt Carolina's medical staff would have cleared him.
Well,
if he had an
think
injury
about
like
it.
that.
They gave up nothing for him.
Well, that's true.
So whenever they get him, they're getting Max Pacioretty for the rest of his contract.
That's true.
For absolutely nothing. So I would say if I'm Carolina, I might say, yeah, that doesn't matter. We'll take him anyway. Like I think they might have known. But the thing is, if Vegas knew, I don't get why they would have traded him for nothing.
Yeah, then they. Well, I mean that could also be why they traded him for nothing.
I don't know. It's something fishy there to me. I don't know.
It is
I could be wrong.
It is strange.
I could be wrong because I don't know all the workings behind the scenes of how it all works, and maybe there's a reason that they had to do it. But to me,
they had the
it
Riley
seems
Smith
weird.
extension they had to do. So I don't know. Maybe they had to move money out right there, and they couldn't wait.
I guess I think because they're over as much as they are, they couldn't go much further over the cap because you're only allowed 10%.
Yeah, and they're just about. I mean, they're like they're like $2.5 million away from that right now.
Yeah, so they probably had to move him just to avoid doing that, so they can make that deal. So that might be why it was. There was some other reason because otherwise you hang on to him. It doesn't. It just seems weird to me. Let's see. BL wants to know if the heat wave's still going on in Beantown.
No, we are back in. No, it's comfortable today. It was like mid-70s today, I think.
This is here too. This is and no humidity. It's almost like September weather already.
Yeah. No, it was beautiful today.
Yeah, it was beautiful here too.
That was great. I went to see my dad today, and we sat outside. There's like a little area you can sit outside where he's at, and we played cards. It was great. It was nice and beautiful. Nice little breeze.
Yeah, sounds good.
Great.
Sounds good. I almost got stuck with my scooter. I guess my battery gauge isn't working. So I almost got stuck. Thank God I got it back to be able to charge it. It's not bad. I think I can get 70 to 80 kilometers on a battery on a full charge. Not bad. Anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about that, but I got to go far tomorrow, so it's a good thing I learned something about it today. Canada just got 50th shot on goal with 10:28 left. And it's a little bit surprising. It's Czechia. Czechia's a pretty good team. Maybe Canada's gonna get the gold medal with nobody there to watch because there's a lot of people are boycotting this because of.
I don't know, man. The U.S. is steamrolling our opponents too.
Yeah, but there's nobody watching live in the arenas. It's very, very little attendance.
So I have the goalie market up right now on my phone.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Can you you can put it on the screen if you can. Can you put it on the screen?
I'd probably have to go on my laptop and go to Cap Friendly.
Okay, no, don't worry. So read them off. Who's out there?
Braden Holtby.
No.
RFA. There's RFAs included here too. Jake Ottinger.
Now Ottinger,
but he's an RFA. He's
an RFA, so that's a trade. But Ottinger is somebody that you would want to get.
Tyler Wall, who went to UMass Lowell, who I thought
doesn't make him good.
I thought he was going to be at Habs camp or something, a rookie camp or something. I saw something like that.
Okay, but he's not an option. Let's move on.
No. Caden Primo.
Not an option.
Roman Durney, who I've never heard of.
Never heard of. Not an option.
Akko-Pekka Luukkonen.
What? Blah, blah, blah?
Akko-Pekka Luukkonen. He's Finnish.
Is he related to that Loch Ness monster there in the Osoyoos Valley? They call him Okopoko. Sounds like it.
He's 23, but he's in the Sabres system. I'm
still again a no. It's a no.
Tyler Parsons.
Again a no.
No idea who that is. Andrew Hammond, who's with Florida.
Yeah.
Corey Schneider.
Who's finished.
Michael McNevin.
Yeah, McNiven. I mean, if you need to, McNiven could be like temporary option.
Adam Huska.
Huska?
Right?
That.
Christopher Gibson. No idea who the hell that is.
Nope. John Gibson's brother, maybe?
Callum Booth. No idea who that is.
I've heard that name before, but again, no.
Jean-Francois Berube.
Okay.
Garrett Sparks.
Yeah.
Colton Point. Caden Fulcher. Alex Diorio.
So, I tell you this.
Derek Baribeau and then Dylan Ferguson, who's with Toronto. That's it.
That's that's it. So if you're wondering why there's so much interest in Jake Allen, you know why. Jake Allen, by far, is the best name on that list, other than, I'll say, Ottinger. That's it. And Ottinger, you're not going to get him. So he's the best. So that's why there's such interest in Allen. And because of that, then, yeah, Hughes has some power here.
I think, like I said, I think he's got all the power here. I think he end up getting a really good deal.
There's nobody else there. But it also is the same problem for Montreal. They trade Allen, there's nobody there for them either. Unless they're going, well, guess who's our new goalie? Braden Holtby.
Unless it's somehow something we don't know about Price, which I doubt, but
yeah, knows? I doubt that. I mean, I want to believe that would be true. I want to believe that would be the reason, but I doubt it. But you never really know. But that list, that's who's who of who? There's nobody there.
I mean, the only young goalie on that list that I take a flyer on is like I said, only because I've seen him play and I know what he can do if he's developed, is Tyler Wall.
Again,
positionally very, very, very good. The only thing is kind of his lateral movement's a little slow, but
you have no starter.
He's got to be developed.
You got no starter. This is not an option, really, right? That's what I'm saying.
Right.
At least Allen can, he can deliver you some good games. He can start for, he's at least solving half or a little more than half of your problem. So, yeah, I can see why. Hey, listen, I see Larry mentioned Monty down there. I just see him. Listen, if Price is good and you want to keep Allen, Monty would be better than most of those guys on that list as well. That's a bad list. Wow, it's really, there's no goalies anywhere.
No, there isn't. I gotta look at that. Canadians, I can't remember if it was Tyler Wall or if it was another goalie from UMass Lowell, but they have a goalie from UMass Lowell who's in rookie camp. As far as I can tell, I think he's still practicing with him, but I'm not.
It might be that guy because I've heard the name before. Now that you've mentioned him, and somewhere in reference with the Habs, it might be him. I don't know.
I thought it was
in my head.
Like I said, he's not.
It might not be.
If he develops, I think he could be a decent goalie.
Yeah, but they need a legitimate NHL goalie, and then they could have a backup that's like this kid, but they need a legitimate NHL goalie. So that's why Allen is going to bring you from being, like you say, and goalies don't bring you usually what you expect, but in this case, he's going to bring you more than you'd expect because of this. I think. If our GM sticks to his guns, he's a shark. So I think Hughes will get, if he makes this deal, will get a good return. All right, let's see where we were. Renegade Man says, I don't feel for Eichel if Vegas will go downhill. That would be 8 years now not sniffing the playoffs. I have this weird feeling about Eichel that Eichel might be one of those guys, kind of like a Marcel Dion, but I don't put them together talent-wise or anything like that. That just doesn't get to the playoffs. Just never really gets a chance. Anyway, and is he the jinx? Did he jinx Vegas? I don't think so, because Vegas's problems are they're caused by their management. It's not Eichel jinxing them. Like you could see kind of Vegas's problems coming up. They were going to happen.
Oh yeah. No, 100%.
It's not like Eichel got there and then everything went crazy. No, Vegas had kind of shot themselves in the foot a few times, I think, leading up, hoping to get that quick Stanley Cup, which they came close to doing, and it backfired in the end. And you know what? They're not the biggest victim of the of the flat cap, are they? Toronto is. Have Monty. You have to have seen my video. Have Monty at your as your starter and play Primo sparingly at first. At some point, we need to see what we have in Primo. I'm not saying you're wrong, and I don't know if I answered this already or this is another one. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I want to see more of him down in the AHL. I don't want to see another repeat of what we saw last year. That could ruin him a second time. I'd rather take him I'd rather be a little slow now with his development than quick. How's that for an answer? Hey, Kelly, how you doing, Kelly? I love William Karlsson, too, guys. He used to play on the same line with Anderson in Columbus. Hey, there's a good point. There's a connection we didn't put together. Doesn't Vegas have a young goalie? We just went over that. So I don't know how old is that one? Oh, we're 15 minutes behind in the comments. Nice. Karma, baby, looks good on Vegas. I'm going to scroll down a bit because we're really behind in the comments. If I missed one of your comments, please just retype it. Or you can take a super sticker or a super chat. Man, I haven't said that in a long time. But you could do that. And then you'd be entered in the draw to win something here, right here on the channel. And speaking of that, I'm going to have a special unboxing happening next week, Monday or Tuesday. So look for that. And it's an unboxing for prizes for the giveaways. Vegas has Weber's contract with a 7.9 and Leonard's at 5. Oh, there you go. Sean actually answered our question from earlier. They have not only Weber's, they have somebody else's LTIR money out there. And yeah, that's why they.
Leonard will be on LTIR.
Yeah, so that's why they traded Patre. That makes more sense then. Thanks, Sean, for that. I appreciate that, the info.
Oh, it's Owen Savory. That's who it was. I said go to the UMass Little Hockey Instagram. It's Owen Savory.
Is he savory or sweet?
But that's
savory, sweet.
He signed a tryout with Laval.
My pain meds just
I knew it was
in,
one of the goalies.
Just in case you're wondering, my pain meds just kicked in. So, because I was walking a lot today. Yeah, I might get crazy. I don't know. I do know we're going to go till 9:30. Yeah, it's early, not as late as I thought. I got to make pizza for supper, and I'm hungry. So we're going to 9:30. And I might be crazy for the next almost hour. So I feel sorry for you guys, really, kind of. Why wouldn't Vegas go for Gibson before looking at Allen? Huge difference in ability. I don't think Vegas is in desperate situation at all. That's not John Gibson that he mentioned. It's another name. I said maybe it's John Gibson's brother, but it's not John Gibson. That's different. Yeah, of course. If John Gibson's available, you can get him. I take him over Allen because John Gibson's a starter and a damn good one too. Like I don't think he's fallen off fully, if at all, yet. John Gibson. Just played for a bad team for many years, which they're starting to get better. So I don't know. Is Gibson still in Anaheim? You see my co-host not listening to me. Is he still in Anaheim, Gibson?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's a free agent. Is he? No, he's not a free agent. He was?
No. It'd have to be a trade. Yeah,
right,
it'd have to be a trade.
Okay, yeah. So if Gibson was available, I would bet they'd go after him before Allen. If any starter is available, they'd probably go after them before Allen because everyone knows Allen, it's not his best thing to be your starter, but he's capable of making the starts and giving you a lot of quality starts. So, yeah, I didn't realize how bad that goalie pool was. I heard it was really bad. I didn't realize how bad.
Yeah, I mean, you could take a flyer on Braden Holtby, but I just feel like Braden Holtby's best years are behind him. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's at a point where I think he's just going to keep regressing. I mean, I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope he just as a person, I hope he can bounce back a little bit. But
at his
just from
age and
what was
everything and the way he's playing, I don't think so.
yeah.
I
No,
don't
and
think so.
that's what I say. I think he's at a point where he's just going to keep regressing. So I just don't think it's really worth a flyer at this point.
No.
Ottinger, you'd have to give him like the highest offer sheet ever, and you don't have the money for that. A, B, I don't really want to give up like 4 first-round picks.
No, exactly. No.
Ottinger's great, but
yeah,
I'm not giving up 4 first-round picks.
No.
Corey Schneider's a bum. I'd rather have.
No, he's done.
I'd rather put this guitar in goal, and it would make more saves.
No, I agree. No, Schneider's finished, so he's just out there because he's.
I mean, most of the other names are just young guys that need to be developed, like your Tyler Walls and some of the other guys that I mentioned.
Unless you're like, if that's it, that's all there is, then you got to do it. But I mean, until then, they're going to try to get somebody. Larry says, "Okay, you sold me on keeping Primo in the AHL, but who would you get in goal if you trade Allen?" And that's what I've been saying. Trade Allen, great, but now we're stuck. So this is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know that there's. So in other words, if they do this, it's because Vegas has given up a shit ton to get him, or you don't do it. Because really, for Montreal, does it really matter? They know they're not making the playoffs. They know they're going to be bad, and being bad might be good for them. So it doesn't really matter. But for Vegas, they got a lot of money invested there. They kind of need. Good thing you're wearing pants. So they got a lot of money invested there, and they need to do this more. And listen, Montreal, take advantage of it if you can. Entertap says Pacioretty did get hurt in practice well after he was traded. Okay, there you go. That makes sense.
And that injury, that's painful. He's not going to be able to. He can't walk. I mean, he's not going to be able to walk for months.
Lehner, you talking about?
No, Pacioretty.
Oh, yeah.
With the blown Achilles because he can't.
Oh, the Achilles.
He can't flex his foot.
No, his foot's fucked for a long time. The Achilles is it's hard to heal too. It takes a long time to heal.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much stress, and it's a very, very it's one of the toughest ligaments in the body too. I mean, when you tear that hurts like a bitch.
Yeah,
I mean, he must have been in some sort of pain.
Yeah, and it's a long healing process for that.
Yeah, because you can't, like I said, he's gonna be off
for months
because you gotta make sure that thing is healed, otherwise
before you can use it and you use it all the time if you walk.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to stay off it completely till it's healed.
And him being an NHL guy, I mean, I can't even imagine how big his calves are. I mean, that ligament's been under a lot of stress for a while. I just damn.
Yeah. Hoffman gives us 15 goals for 4 point. Is he making 4.5? I saw somewhere wrote it 4.25. That was Toffoli, right? 4.25. Hoffman's making 4.5. So Steven's got it right. But I saw it in an article, and I'm reading it. No, that's not what he's making. But yeah, and none of would care if he was traded. But the thing is, apparently Montreal wants to trade him. No takers. No takers for the $4.5 million, and Montreal's not in a position to retain salary. They're not going to for anything that's longer than at the trade deadline for a part of the season. So that's not happening. Larry is not a big Pacioretty fan. He was good in the regular season, but he was virtually absent in the playoffs. This is very true.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina is getting what Pac-Man can do now. I could not count on him in the clutch. No. And very streaky goal scorer. So he's a guy that would score a bunch of goals in 5, 6, 7 games, and no scoring for 6, 7 games. He was very, very streaky.
Mm-hmm. I do remember 1 or 2 runs though in the playoffs where he did produce. I mean, but for the most part, he was pretty absent.
This is what I remember. He wasn't a producer in the playoffs, and then one season he did. He stepped up one season and he had a decent.
It was 14
playoffs.
Or 15, I think. Right? It was one of those.
I don't know what year, but I think that's what happened with him. But it does. I mean, he was not a playoff performer in general.
because it was I think it was. I want to say it was that 14-15 year.
Probably was.
Because I remember I don't think he did much against Tampa, but he went off against Boston. And
yeah, that sounds familiar. Actually, what you just said, going off against Boston sounds
there was,
familiar.
I
So
remember
probably
one year where he torched the Bruins in the
Yeah.
playoffs. I
but
remember
it was like
one
his
year where he did that.
only good playoff
Yeah.
year. Like that was it, right? So
Yeah, I think he put up something stupid. It was like 6 goals and like 3 something. It was something dumb in that.
Well,
series.
he's capable of that. He's capable of that kind of scoring in streaks. He did that kind of scoring in streaks. That's how he put up his numbers. So, but you know, I don't know. There's something always. I liked Pacioretty in general, but something always kind of rubbed me the wrong way about him. And I think it was just I never believed when he would say how much he loved Montreal and all that, and his voice or the look in his face, I never believed him, like kind of thing, that he loved being here and all that. I don't know. I could be wrong about, I don't know how he feels in his head, but that's what I got from it.
How do you feel about Jake Allen and David Savard to Vegas for like a couple of picks and William Karlsson?
It's a problem though. It's a problem.
But money would work, and we'd get rid of David Savard.
No, listen, I get all that. Problem is, like it or not.
No, but then we don't have a goalie, right? No, you're right.
No, you not like it or not. Now we don't have a goalie, and now we're down to 2 right side defensemen.
Right.
So it's not really good. It causes 2 holes. In a year, you could do it, and it'd be okay. But I think if Montreal were that bad, I don't know but the fans would like it that much. And I thought Savard was better under St. Louis to the point where he's tolerable. Like I thought he played well enough most games that he was good actually on some of those games. So, I think
there were, but I mean, it was few and far between. Because then there were games where he just stood there and acted like a concrete pylon, for God's sake.
Under Ducharme, that was almost all the games. Under St. Louis, most games he was decent to good, with a few games where whatever. But I thought he was pretty good under St. Louis. So I'm encouraged under St. Louis that he'll be okay. But it creates too much of a hole on the D. So now, could they make it up? I'm pretty sure in the preseason, in the camps, there's going to be guys released just before the season starts, right? You're going to be able to get guys on waivers and some quality guys, I would think. So probably be able to make it up.
Typically a few quality guys.
You have the same quality of Savard, somewhere around that. So you probably can make it up, but I don't know. It's a problem.
Yeah.
I think anyway. We'll see what they do,
because the other thing I'm looking at is, where the hell is it? Jake Allen's only making $2.8 million, so we're gonna have. I mean, it's gonna have to be like Savard and Hoffman going the other way. You have to package Savard, Allen with somebody to go the other way to make the money work.
It won't work for Vegas.
Right. That's the well. Yes and no.
I think you were right in a 3-way trade could work for that.
Yeah.
If you get 3,
it'd have to be because Vegas has to free up.
Yeah, William they got to send.
Comes our way, and maybe a pick. Allen and Hoffman get moved out. Allen will go to Vegas. Hoffman goes to
another team.
Yeah. And then Vegas sends somebody else to a different team.
Yeah, I could see
that.
We
end up with a few million. We're under the cap by a couple $1 million.
Yeah.
Because we send out about 6.
And then we sign
William Karlsson's 5.9, so we got about $1 million to play with. Vegas is happy that they get a goalie, and we get a pick. And we get William Karlsson, who, like I said, I mean, a center depth, Suzuki, Karlsson, Doc, and Evans or Dvorak, however you want to put it, it's pretty damn sexy, in my opinion.
And you got to think that Montreal's probably starting the season with Price and Byron on the LTIR. So that's $14 million.
Yeah, so if you make a trade like I just suggested, I mean, and you're like $1 million under, then you hit the LTIR. I mean, we'd be in decent shape.
Imagine being able to get William Karlsson for for Jake Allen.
Oh, that'd be so sexy, dude.
That would be
Well, think
pretty
about
damn
this.
good.
Ready? Jake Evans then becomes like the fifth center on the team because you can play D. You know what I mean?
Well, you got to move. You got to probably move Dvorak.
Okay, so then you could send Dvorak. So then Dvorak could maybe go to that third team.
And no, I think Dvorak you can move elsewhere. I think Dvorak actually teams want him. I think they. I don't think they'd have trouble moving Dvorak.
Right? Maybe get a pick for Dvorak.
Yeah.
And then now you move Dvorak out. That now we're sitting right around $4 million under the cap with a pick and William Karlsson, and our center depth is Suzuki, Karlsson, Dak, Evans. I like that a lot.
I like that a lot.
I like that a lot.
I like that a lot. The thing is,
if they could pull it off, that'd be sick.
You're getting Karlsson a little early in a rebuild, but you know what? It kind of speeds you up a little bit too in your rebuild, because now you're solid down the middle.
Oh yeah,
you're solid down the middle for centers. So, yeah.
And, you can throw PLD out the window. You don't have to worry about him. You don't have to worry about bringing him in and saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to bounce in a year, whatever the hell."
Yeah, forget that. Don't need PLD
you get a
at that point.
And William Karlsson. And William Karlsson, I think, also plays a solid two-way game. I really do.
I believe so. I believe you're right.
I think he plays a solid two. He's very, very good in the dot. Very, very good at winning faceoffs. So if they can pull it off, I'd love it. I'd love to see William Karlsson.
You'd want that because Dvorak is your big faceoff winner, right? And right now here. So you kind of want, if you're going to bring in somebody to replace him or for his spot, he's got to be able to win faceoffs. Yeah, listen, maybe we just started a rumor right here. Makes sense. Who knows? But Allen is definitely, you can see why he's probably going to be traded if you can get a gold mine for him.
Yeah.
Let's see what Renault has to say tonight. This could be very interesting. Why is it taking so long to sign Dak, and when does he have to sign by? Well, he has to sign by training camp if they want him to be in camp. So they've got time. I believe that they have an agreement with him in principle, but they're not ready to sign it yet. As soon as they got the money, they're going to sign him up. I don't think it's a problem to worry about them signing Dak. It's not a thing, if you ask me. BL put that name there that you, Akapeka Lukanen.
Akapeka Lukanen.
So is he like from Mexico?
He's Finnish.
He's got a Mexican first name though. Acapulco. No, okay. I'm gonna say that his father is not Irish. No, but you know what? You never know. Maybe he's got Irish blood somewhere in there. Booth played with Avalanche. Who's Booth? Oh, that's goalie Booth that you mentioned. He's in the Avalanche system.
Yeah, I think the Avalanche logo was next to his name.
There you go.
Like I said, that list had RFAs on there too. So some of those names I mentioned, Ottinger, Primo, Booth, they're RFAs. They're not going anywhere.
Is Caleb Jones an important piece of the Hawks squad moving forward? I know the name. He's not a goalie, is he? I don't know what position. I don't know enough about this guy to know that. And since Matt didn't say anything yet, I think he doesn't either. So we will move on. Ottinger still hasn't signed. By the way, no, we know that. He's an RFA, not signed yet. But he's an RFA. So say you offer sheet him, it's a big, if you get him.
It's Seth Jones' little brother.
Caleb Jones. Oh, okay. That's why I know the name. What position?
Defense.
Okay. So I guess if he's got the same kind of talent, he may be an important piece. They're rebuilding. He's young. Yeah, he could be. Vegas has sucked since McCrimmon took over from George McPhee as GM. I think you're actually right about that for sure. I remember when he was announced as I think you're right. Why would Primo require much more time to develop outside the NHL, given the fact he's 2 years older than Kirby Dach?
Have you seen how he's played so far when he's called up?
Right. He's also a 7th round pick. So you got to take that. So you knew he was going to have some development time. And
goalies in general take a while to develop.
And he's a goalie. And you saw how he played, as he said, last season that wasn't good, and I don't want to put him there again. I'd rather, like I said,
he was stellar for Laval in the playoffs.
And they planned for him to
the
play.
full year.
They planned for him to play 200 AHL games, and he hasn't hit 100. I think he's close, but he hasn't. So he's got a lot of time that he should be down in the AHL.
Yeah, I think a full season in the AHL would be great for him. I really do.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he has the potential to be a very, very good goalie. I really do. He was stellar at Northeastern. He just needs to develop. And like I said, like a guy like Tyler Wall, he needs to develop. He needs to stay in the AHL.
Yeah.
If he reaches his potential, I think he could be a very good goalie, but that remains to be seen.
Montreal also, they have to start developing some goalies. I'm just reaching for something. I'm not going anywhere. Thank you, Faye. Appreciate that. Some Faye hype in the room and some Dono hype in the room. It's still so foreign to say that for some reason. In a perfect world, CH should trade Allen and try to get Ottinger.
Problem is it would cost, A, if we tried to trade for his rights, it would cost too much. B, if we offer sheeted him, we'd have to give up like the next 5 years of first-round picks.
Yeah.
Which Ken Hughes is doing. So,
but
it'd be nice.
In a perfect world, you're right. But it's not a perfect world, and it doesn't work. But yeah, you're right. In a perfect world, that would be good. But you know what? Also, in getting somebody like Ottinger, like now, I don't know if the timing is right, except that I think Montreal's got a goaltender problem also in their system right now. They don't have enough NHL ready or really close to ready goalies, in my opinion. So this could be a problem, but they're not going to really make a playoff run for another couple of years. So by then they should be able to have this worked out. So once again, though, thanks, Faye. I appreciate the donut.
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and answer this.
Yeah, go read it out first.
Why not shoot for Marchessault over Carlson, given the language situation there? I think that's a good point, but
it's an interesting actual point right now. But you go ahead.
Really, kind of 3 reasons. The first one, we have too many wingers already. Yeah, the second one, he is 2 years older than William Karlsson already, he's making $900,000 less, but he's 2 years older. The third reason is he's only making that for the next 2 years. I'd rather have Karlsson at 5. That's just my opinion, and I said, the biggest thing is we just have too many wingers right now. We have so many young, good wingers in the system, like Joshua. I don't think we really need to add any wingers right now.
Yeah,
I think the center position would be my focus right now.
The thing that I found interesting about that is there's talk right now about that Montreal should be going after more Quebec-born players and stuff like that. And so it's interesting there. But I think Matt makes really good points that we don't need the winger, and he's too old for that. On a rebuilding team, players of that in that age range are not really who you're looking for. I know we just got Dadonov, so we don't need another one in that age range. I think that, yeah. So Karlsson just makes a lot more sense. Karlsson will also be here if all this rebuild, and when they get better and start to compete, Karlsson will still be here. And that's a good point for that. If you're going to get them, you kind of want them to be around when they get good again.
And I saw an earlier comment too about
where's this
here
comment?
It is.
Oh, good.
And I think I have a good reason for this as well. Yes, his points did come down. There's
injuries.
A couple reasons. He was injured.
Yeah.
And if you look at what Vegas has kind of done over the last few years, they keep shedding guys. So he's losing a lot of the talent that he's played with.
That's around him, yeah.
And
then one of those years was a short season.
The 46-point year. That was 46 points, I think, in 56 games.
So. Right. So that one, you can put that one is a good year. So, and one of those, I think the 39 points.
39
was an injury.
And last year, season. I mean, the team was in shambles.
And the last year, the team was
everybody.
Shit. Yeah.
And they brought in Jack Eichel, and who knows what he's done to the locker room. So,
yeah. So I think those are good points.
I think, yeah. I mean, obviously it is a decline, but I don't think that really speaks to the type of player he is. I really don't. I think if we could get him, I think
You
he's
get
right
him.
back around that 46 point mark,
You
46,
get
50
him.
point mark, maybe a little high, around there.
Yep.
I don't think he's ever going to be up to that 78-ish point mark, but we don't need him to be there with the kind of guys that we're going to have coming up.
Yeah,
I think if he's right back around 46, 50, I'm fine with that. I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah, if he's in a better situation with some good players back around him, I think 50 to 60 points as a second line center isn't out of the question for a guy like that. Upwards of that. Maybe he doesn't it, but I think 50 to 60 would be a good goal for him to hit.
Yeah, like I said, I think he can hit that here. I think it'd be a better. Obviously, I mean, team wise, obviously, we're not going to be competitive, but I just think chemistry wise, I think just the feeling would be better. I think he'd just have more chances to flourish, and he wouldn't have the pressure on him of being like that first line center.
Plus, quite frankly, if he starts to fall off a little bit, put him on the third line. Dak should probably have earned his way up to the second line then.
Yeah.
And I think he may say, oh, that's a little bit much for the guy. But if you're getting him for next to nothing, it's still not a bad 1-2-3 of Suzuki, Dak, Carlson, because he can play that third line center role because he's a two-way center.
And that's the other thing too. Yeah, his points dipped down, but he's still saving points on the other end of the ice because two-way play hasn't dropped off at all.
That's right. Kind of like with Dak, not Dak, with Dvorak, right? Mm-hmm. Dvorak gives you that two-way center kind of play, handles the face-offs, all that. So, yeah, I mean,
we're ready to have Dvorak. Two-way centers on a team.
And we're ready to have Dvorak as the third-line center, no problem. Sure, he makes a little less money, but, I think it would work.
Yeah.
Maybe it happens. You never know.
You can never have too many 200-foot players on your team. I mean, really.
And not guys that can put up points. I mean, he's proven he can put up points, Carlson.
Yeah, like I said, I think he hits that 45 to 55 range if he comes to Montreal.
Yeah, I think
I think he's capable of that.
Yeah, I think so.
And I don't think he needs to – I don't think it's reasonable to expect him to be back up to that 78, 80-point caliber player. Because he doesn't need to play to that level here. He's not – gonna be the first line center. He's not gonna be tasked with doing everything for a team like the Montreal Canadiens, where he is for a team like Vegas.
Right, that's true. Ducks are going to be a playoff team this year. I think Pacific is such a weak division. Yeah, actually, I read that too. I don't know a lot about their whole team, but yeah, I've seen that in print actually before too. Some of the experts agree with that. I don't disagree with it. I don't know enough to disagree with it, but I think that is a bit of a weak division, the Pacific. It seems to have gotten weaker. They were stronger in the last 4 or 5 years, am I right? And they seem to have weakened out a little bit, the Pacific Division.
Yeah. There's really not... I mean...
It's the Central that's strong there.
There's really not many teams that out in the Pacific Division where I would say are really kind of, like a cut above the rest. I mean,
it's fallen off. That division's fallen off a bit. So I'm going to agree kind of with that.
I think Vancouver's might be approaching that especially now that they're going to have a new GM, and if they make moves, they could approach that. But I can't really think of any other teams out there that could hit that.
No, I think it's fallen off out there.
I think is Edmonton in the Pacific?
Yes, Edmonton's in the Pacific.
Edmonton, I think, is definitely up there.
Yeah, they are. But I'm just saying it's fallen off as far as
there's like one or two teams and just
So he says also they're going to keep Gibson. I think I would tend to think that they're going to keep Gibson. Play us a tune, Matt. I ordered strings today for my acoustic finally. Actual acoustic guitar strings. Right now it's got electric strings on it. Gibson, didn't he hit a big home run for the Dodgers a few years ago? And he did it without knees. We were having a conversation somewhere.
That home run was all arm. That was all arms. That's what impressed me the hell out of that.
I was having a conversation. I don't remember where. It could have been a very early live stream here. And we were talking about that and how he did it without knees. And someone said, how could he have hit if he had no knees? How could he have gotten to home plate? Like they thought he really had no knees. But he had knees a little bit worse than mine, like probably a lot worse than mine. But he had horrible knees. He could barely
if you
walk.
look at the way he swung, he didn't move his lower body at all.
No, it was
all
upper
arms, and he powered it out.
Yeah. Oh, he was strong. He was strong.
And if you look at his face when he's wincing in pain running around the bases.
Oh yeah. He could barely walk. Kirk Gibson those days. And that, you know what? I was never a big Kirk Gibson fan, but man, you had to give him his props for that home run.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Does Vegas have any good right-handed defensemen? Not that we can afford though.
That's for sure.
Canada beat Czechia 5-1. Did Weber injure his Achilles heel a couple of years back? No. Weber, it was an ankle. He really screwed up his ankle, which is one of the things that made him have to retire was that ankle injury. But it wasn't an Achilles. If no one wants Hoffman, why would you want Carlson? You got to elaborate on that, Steve. Sorry.
Yeah, just a little bit.
We kind of just went over it. So, well, now this is 20 minutes old, this comment. We're behind again. So we probably were talking about it after he actually wrote that. So.
Larry Lothstein, it was with the Dodgers, not the... Oh, yeah. No, never mind. He put that. Never mind. I take it back.
I'm scrolling down a bit again. I think Savard is very tradable to a contender with a bit of cap space. Maybe Anaheim if they make a playoff push. Maybe. At the deadline, maybe. But usually at the deadline, guy like that, not with 2 years left. He'll have 2 years left at this trade deadline. So the following season, with 1 year coming up, like having a year left on your contract, it makes you more tradable. I don't know Savard with 2 years left is more tradable. Born to be a Hab, no. I don't know who the driver is, and I doubt he plays Nets. Savage played much better under Savard played much better under Marty. Yes, he did. Oh, you corrected it there. I see that. But Savard looked like he was 2 steps behind the play and always trying to catch up, and his offense dried up. No, but that was at the beginning. Under Ducharme, that was true. But no, he had some he put up some points under Marty, and he played a lot better. He had more good games than bad games under Marty St. Louis. I'm going to put it that way. Another season under Marty and the development staff that they have, they're going to work with the veterans as well and get their skills up. Could be really good for Savard. We might see a better Savard with this coaching staff.
We certainly could. Could.
I hope we might. Yeah. I know he played better under Marty, and he's a right side defenseman, which is at a premium right now for Montreal. So he's here for a while, I think. Plus, he's Quebec. He's a Quebec player. Seems like they want to keep those guys if they're up to par. I think he's up to par enough.
I'm excited to see Mike Matheson. I honestly feel like he's really excited to play with us.
I think so too, and he's at the exact right age to have his best years here in Montreal, his hometown team he grew up cheering for. I think we could see some play from Matheson that we go, wow, I didn't think he was that good. Like I think that could happen with Matheson. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he's going to be a top defenseman in the top 20, but I think we might look at him and say, I didn't realize he was that good.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going to say. I don't think Price is LTIR at the beginning of the season. Well, he's going to. Yeah, I mean, he was last season. I don't see why he wouldn't
He's
be
gonna.
this
I
season.
mean, again, Rick and I both agree it's doubtful, but unless the Canadians know something we don't, he's got to be on LTIR at the beginning of the year.
There's been no news that's positive, that's updated to say, oh, Price looks like he's going to be on track.
It's really only
Nothing.
what Stefan Waite said, but again, take that with
But
salt.
he was going on his belief. I believe.
Yeah.
I believe. And I know Price. And I know it is not on any kind of information that you could say is proof that he knew what he was talking about, Stefan Waite. So I'm not going to put much into that. I'm going to put a lot into the fact that we're hearing zero out of the Carey Price cap. That's not, to me, doesn't bode well. That for him
but
to be
I
ready.
mean, it could also be good news. I mean, you never know.
It could be, but I kind
There's
of
no
don't.
bad. I mean, the only kind of positive you can take about hearing nothing is we're not hearing anything catastrophic. Knock on wood.
We're hearing nothing though, either way. So to me, the closer we get to camp starting, and we're still not hearing anything, doesn't sound positive to me. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. How far are we away now? We're like 55 days away from the start of the season, and a little over a month away from camp opening up. So we're going to find out. And that's, to me, that's getting closer to camp where we should start hearing, if it's positive, to start hearing some news about Price. I kind of think. I don't know. Okay, let's see what we got here. Hang on. Oof, he just jumped. My landlord is a fucking. I like that. It's funny. Currently, so is mine. Dadnov will be here for maybe 5 or 6 minutes. I said that when we got him. I don't know. I'm kind of saying 50-50 on that. I kind of believe you could be right. Dadnov would be a guy I would think you could move out if you need to. I would think so. Does he play even a game here? I don't know. Or according to Hughes, they're probably going to try to move him at the deadline, and and play him. So I don't know. But I love your name. Hey, Carlos, haven't seen you in a dog's age. How's it going, Carlos? Heard Vegas is looking at Price. No, he's looking at Allen. They're looking at Allen, not Price.
But look, back on Dadonov. I mean, again, it's very low risk. It's only 1 year, so
it's only exactly. Yeah. And I think Dadonov you can move at the deadline.
Absolutely.
So you're going to get something for him, and there's no commitment past this season, which is a season you're not expecting to win. So, but I tend to think you're still right. I tend to think that might still be right, that he doesn't play a game here. Maybe a preseason game, but I don't know about a regular season game.
Maybe a couple, only because they did announce his number. I feel like if they thought he'd be moved before the season, maybe they don't announce his number. I don't know.
No, I think you could be right there, but he could easily be a guy that a team has an injury, and they reach out for a guy like Dadonov unexpectedly on the Habs part, right?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Especially on a contending team.
Timber Dog says, and I'm not sure why, so I'd love it if you sort of expand on this. I'll put this up. When the product name is more valuable than the product, nothing will really change. I'm wondering, are you talking about Montreal? And what is it about what's going on now that you don't see as being changed? Because there's a lot of change going on here, I think. So I'm very curious about that comment. Jason. Hey, Jason. Chandler Stevenson was the first-line center in Vegas. Yes, he was. That's right. In the playoffs when we played them, he was their top-line center. I don't remember the reason why. I don't know if it was because of an injury. I think it was. MB signed Price knowing his knees and hips were wonky because he was directed. That's controversy. That's conspiracy theory. You got no proof of that, and I'm not going to talk about that. That's, to me, that's just no. Let's talk about 9/11 then. And then Eichel. Well, Eichel is now, I would imagine, right? My landlord is fucking says, yeah, but you don't want a guy named Chandler on your team. What, from Friends you're talking about because of Chandler from Friends?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's Chandler Stevenson, I think. Well, before Eichel came in, was the first line center for Vegas. But that's the other thing with Karlsson. He kind of got moved down the depth chart as well.
He did, and but Stevenson did okay. But you're right. It kind of weirdly, I think because of the injury, he got moved down. And that's why Stevenson is there, I believe. Rory says Ducks have Strome, Zegras, McTavish down the middle, going to be cracked line team. No, I think you're right. I think I saw it somewhere where, they were predicting whoever was the writer or whoever it was that I got this from was predicting that Anaheim should probably make the playoffs. And maybe do some damage, I think, is what the guy said, too. It was 1988 when Gibson hit that home run. He was with the Detroit Tigers in 1984. Yes, that's. I think you're right. It was 88. When I saw that 84, I thought to myself, I didn't say anything, that seemed too early. I would have said even maybe in the 90s, early 90s. But do you know what year it was, the Kirk Gibson home run?
I want to say it was 87, 88.
Yeah, so there you go. It wasn't 84. 88 seems to be the consensus.
Yeah, that was all arms. I mean, he did not move his legs when he swung.
Well, he couldn't. He had to save them to try to get around the bases. I've seen this before. Am I wrong where a hitter he'd hit, but I'm not sure if the guy was able to run for him from right away or he took over the running at first base.
I don't think that's a thing.
Where, you get a single, the guy comes out and you put a runner.
Run.
But not from the side of the right. That's probably from a movie.
Yeah, but, no, you could pinch run for somebody when they're on base, but then that guy has to come out of the game and the pinch runner's in.
I'm pretty sure Kirk Gibson that season got pinch run for a few times once he got on base, and then someone would take over the running from there.
Probably. I know it was a pinch hit home run. But you could, like, when he's going around the bases, he's going, please, like, you could look at, if you look at his face.
Yeah, please don't fall down.
Because he must have been in so much pain.
He was.
Going around the bases.
But the good thing is he hit a home run, so there's no rush in how long, like, he doesn't have to rush to get there. The ball's coming to tag him out, you know what I mean? So he was able to take his time, but he kind of slowed.
If he hit like a single or something, they probably would have thrown him out at first, even if it went to the outfield.
Now he'd need to hit a triple to get on first to make it.
But happy thing of the story though is that he's doing pretty well right now. I think he's still managing in the Major League Baseball.
You think he's got to have artificial knees?
Oh yeah, I mean he's definitely had knee replacement, but I mean he's doing well right now. He's managing.
No, good on him. Good on him. Like I said, he was never my favorite guy, but he was also an AL guy. I didn't follow the AL that closely. And there was other reasons. I don't remember what the other reasons were, but I mean, he gained my respect after that home run. Because how could you not? My landlord says they're not talking about price because they are playing it smart, under promise, over deliver. Yeah, I wonder if maybe that's what they're doing. I mean, it's possible, I guess. Yeah, it's curious. So I just got to think if he's going to be ready and they believe he is, we'll start hearing some positive things about him. The fact that we're not hearing anything just leads me to believe that they don't think he's going to be ready, or it's still really up in the air. And you're right, they don't want to say the wrong thing too early.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. People who believe Price is coming back because of Stefan Wait comments. Yeah, we did say that. I'm still behind in the comments. We got about another 10 minutes because pretty soon you're going to hear my stomach growling. I barely ate today and ran out of time to have supper before the show. So, Habination says, I saw a vid of Price on a fast-moving boat on a lake. You know how hard it is to stand up on a fast-moving boat without knee pain. True. You think he's playing? I've seen some writers and stuff write say it like he'll be ready. But I haven't seen anything out there to lead me to think that he's going to be ready. But who am I? I'm some schmuck here on YouTube, so it doesn't mean much. But that's what I think. Rory, I would tend to agree with you, but you never know. Habination could be right as well. A good point there too is, standing up on a boat, it's hard, but it doesn't compare. It doesn't compare to playing goal, being in that butterfly up and down, like it doesn't compare. So I think Rory makes a really good point there that it's not the same thing and he's not playing. I'm leaning towards he's not starting the season. Probably going to miss the first half. That's where I'm leaning towards in my thoughts. I would love to see Price come back at some point. I think he might have come back too soon last season. I know it was only about 5 games, but I just don't think he was ready. I think they thought he was ready. I think over those 5 games, he realized he wasn't. Mm-hmm. I think that's what happened there. Why the objection? I'm not sure why you're objecting there. My landlord is an F-head. I don't want to keep saying the F word all the time. Hey, Gabriel, a little late to the game, but how's it going? Good to see you. I really do hope he does come back. Just saying, we can't know if he's coming back until he hits the ice is all. No, exactly. And I would think they'd be saying something.
Mm-hmm.
Larry, I think you are right about Gibson. That was his only at bat in that World Series. I mean, he couldn't run, so he had to be up in a situation where you needed the home run only, and I think that was the situation, wasn't it?
Or you could have had like a guy on third, and you just had to poke it to the outfield.
True, that also works.
There was the series before where he went out for a catch and like smashed both his knees in the ground or something and like destroyed him.
All I know is that, it had to be in a situation where he couldn't, like, you needed the long ball. You needed the ball to go long or out.
Or he was the only guy left on the bench. I mean,
but it wasn't. He wasn't the only guy.
Right.
He wasn't, if I remember. Anyway, I don't think he was the only guy. I mean, it wasn't an extra innings game, was it?
It was the bottom of the 12th.
Oh, it was. Maybe he was the only guy left. I mean, I've seen that happen, but usually past the 12th.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it was in the NLCS. He made a diving catch, and he like slipped, and his knees did funky things that shouldn't have been done. And that's how he got seriously injured.
Yeah, I don't remember, but yeah, he was done at that point. But okay, landlord says, not sure if you boys talked about it, but what are we doing with Drouin? Have we talked about Drouin before? Not today.
Not today,
but
no.
I was actually kind of glad, and I think we're just going to leave it at that. Let's go one live stream without.
regurgitating the same points over and over.
Right, and without having to trash the guy for, I don't know, I'm not his biggest fan. I don't really enjoy laughing at a guy like that, really. So I
No,
don't want to do
absolutely.
that.
Look,
And there's no need to go over it again. Go ahead.
No, absolutely not. And like I said, when we criticize him, it's just as a player. Like obviously, as a person, we have nothing against him. We wish him the best, but
right,
just purely as a player as a player for the Canadians,
I just don't want it to go into laughing at him and putting him down again, because that'll with 5 or 6 minutes left here, But I mean, I think he'll play. He's in a contract year. I don't think he's got a choice, and we'll see what we get. So he plays. That's what I think. I don't think they can move him, and I think they got to play him. Okay, Gibson is one of the announcers for the Tigers now. Oh, he has Parkinson's disease. Oh, that's too bad. But appears to be hanging in as well as expected.
He's young, too. He's only like 67. He's not that old.
He's got to be older than me, but okay, so yeah. Parkinson's, though, no fun. My mom had Parkinson's. It's not fun.
Yeah, it's not. It's not fun.
I feel for him for that. Okay, let's see. Let's hit the bottom and see, because it just keeps jumping. And hey, Matt Outdoors, been a while. How you doing? When will Habs name their captain? First preseason game, first game of the season, something like that. Start of the training camp, maybe, something like that. I think they're going to do it in a way that I hope is kind of like an event. So I hope it's not just some release one morning. Oh, look, they named Nixon. Something boring like that they do it in a big way. So we'll see. The speculation that if Price did play, he was showcasing himself to other teams. All rumors and gossip. Is that from, you're talking about last season, Guru? Because that's, to me, ridiculous. Landlord, I think by the deadline. I think at the deadline we're going to. And I mean, hopefully he's having a good season and they can get a good return. But I think at the deadline, they're going to move a guy like Drew. Oh, he's Gibson's in a broadcast team with Dan Petrie, Jeff Petrie's dad, and Jack Morris. And Jack Morris. Jack Morris was a pretty good pitcher, man. I remember him as he was better than Petrie. They played they were on the same in the same rotation, I believe, Petrie and Morris. But Jack Morris was a legit Cy Young kind of pitcher. I think they will make the announcement of a captaincy special. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think so too. Guru says yes, last season. Yeah, he wasn't showcasing himself. I think that's. I don't want to buy into that. I've heard it before, and I just don't. I don't want to go there. What do I have a breakout season? Watch him out. But if he again, so he has a breakout season. Here we are talking about him under St. Louis. They sign him, and then what? He goes back. That's what I'd be worried about. I'd say he has a breakout season under St. Louis. Move him. You're gonna get a good return. I'd move him still.
And let's just say they did want to keep him. I wouldn't give him more than like $2 million max.
Well, I would think 3.5, but yeah.
Just with his history, I mean, it's just even if he has a great season, I just can't justify giving him what he's got. Right, I can't do it.
It'll be another season of wait till next season, right? Because he'll have a good season. They re-sign him. Next season he's going to be even better. I don't want to go through that again with him. So hey, if he has that great season, move him. You'll get a great return.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? He's a French player. there's a lot of talk about them wanting to add more French players, not detract from the team on French players. So it's also not going to surprise me if they decide to keep him because he had a good season. So, yeah, I don't know how it'll go, but I kind of say move him. Renault, we don't often agree, but I think I agree with you there, right? If they re-sign Drouin, that's kind of definition of insanity. I don't know if they'd go that far, but you're approaching it, I think.
Oh yeah.
Expecting it just to be different again. Yeah, I think, yeah. All right, I think we're going to take off here because my stomach says, hey, you better eat soon because I got to eat. So, yeah, I'm going to take off here now. Let's see, what's the week holding? I'm expecting a package full of stuff for the sent in by, well, I'll say it on the unboxing. So I'll be doing an unboxing video Monday or Tuesday. It should get here Monday. So Monday or Tuesday, I'll be doing that. There's that this week. I'm trying to write a couple of poems I'm working on. Nothing working out great so far. I've got a little bit here of one, just I'm working on it. Trying to do that, try to get a video out. Wednesday will be a live stream. Saturday next will be a live stream. So that's what the week looks like. And yeah, see how it goes. So thanks everybody for being here. And from me, have a good night. And from Matt. Wake up, Matt. Have a good night. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Thanks for being here. Enjoy the rest of the Saturday night because it is Saturday night. And that's it. Stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all. And see you soon.
Night, everyone.
Ciao, everybody. I can't find my. Hey, Gadon. I just see you there at the end. Nice to see you. It's been a while. Have a good one.